What's up, y'all? This is Jeffery at Jeffery TV coming to you live on Memorex, default route, default location. You know, there is something to be said for the idea of I'm living my life. I don't have time to post on Facebook or on social media. Even for me, there are times where it just, I don't want to say it gets too busy, or did I forget to post, but things just go, you know, and it's usually like, I don't even know if I posted since I did one of these podcasts, since I got back from New Jersey, from the game. Because I went right from the game. In fact, I think I did one, and it's still sitting at YouTube. I don't think I processed it or posted to Facebook yet, because, you know, things get busy, and it goes from, once the adrenaline wears off, and that's when the tiredness comes in. Because after the trip, at least for the first day, you're still flying on adrenaline. And that adrenaline goes away after the first or second day. And then you're working on a Tuesday, which is like a nothing day, the quote unquote lowest energy day of my week. And it hits. And it hit yesterday for me. I went in 2 hours late. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just like, but I didn't want to use up on my, I don't want to use my PTO. That's when it hit. And I just been busy. Not busy, but occupied, maybe a combination of occupied and satisfied, and just taking it in, being a bit introspective and savoring the moments, and, just kind of staying within myself, all nice and cozy, wrapped up with that feeling I got being in that goddamn stadium, watching my football team do what it do, and then not having time to savor it. I'm hanging out after the game at the American Dream Mall, which is across from MetLife Stadium. Most beautiful mall I've ever seen in my life. Steeler fans, people just walking around, good energy, good people, just everything. So I'm absorbing that. I'm not really savoring, the moment. I'm just taking it all in, and I really haven't had time to stop and just sit in it, because I went right to work and running off adrenaline on that Monday. Flew in Sunday night, landed at LAX about midnight. I drove my car, so I left my car since it was only like one day. I drove my car and I got Joe's parking. Cost me like $40-something. And, I was just able to call them, get a ride to their parking lot, and then drive straight home. I don't have to worry about the flyaway or this or that or this or that. So, I'm not even sure when the last time I posted or whatever, but there is something to be said. If my life gets going, it even surprises me. It surprises me even that life gets going, I forget to post. Every now and then I even forget to take pictures. I'm like, what the hell is that about? Forget to take pictures? That's unforgivable. That's like unforgivable. Gotta at least take pictures. What's that guy say? Oh, so that's why I'm doing this now. Because I go back to work, I do this, I go back to work, and I go back to work again today, and then tonight is the LA Maggots, tomorrow is Trulio, Norwood's birthday, then I get a weekend. And we at the Mint tonight. They want me to do some recording. I hadn't had time to get all that stuff together, so my house is, I'm like throwing a whole bunch of cameras and stuff in a bag, charging this, doing that. Gonna put it together. I'm taking off work early today. Work 6 hours again today. So that's 3 hours. That's 6 hours of my PTO that I've used in 3 days. Which is better than using a whole day, but still, I need to save that up. And yesterday we did have a meeting in regards to how many days a week are going to be mandatory in the office. And because of the way my department and our team works, it really didn't make any sense for us to come in there. It really didn't make any sense for us to go in there. And they kind of relayed that to us that they understood, and they postponed it. We were supposed to be able to go in there 3 days a week, 2 days a week starting October 6th, 3 days a week starting January. And that would be a killer if I go back to Ohio, and I go back to Ohio and stay back there and work from back there. That would be a killer as far as PTO goes. You know, not that it's such a horrible thing to use PTO while I'm back in Ohio, but it is. Because that means if I use PTO, that means I probably got to stay with, I got babysit granddaughter. I'd rather work. I'd rather work and get my moments. Now she's getting better though. Actually, she's good, but the energy is still, I'm not saying it's bad. No, I'm saying don't think it's bad. This is all good stuff. This is good, normal, toddler, 3-4-year-old stuff for a child. They're gonna, you can't, that's what I said, you ain't gonna outplay them. You can't outplay them. So you gotta watch what games you allow to be played. You gotta moderate that and regulate that because they learn and they'll take it to another level. And then you get to a point where, no, you can't, no, stop. Then you tell them to stop, and they're like, what do you mean stop? You invented this game. What do you mean stop? You invented this. You know, they don't quite get it yet. So that got rescinded. So I go back, got my flight and stuff. Flights was expensive. Doggone flight. Baltimore to fucking Pittsburgh, $237. I ain't pay that much to fly across the country. Then another $101 to get a car for one day. Bastards. And I'm still looking to see if I could beat that or figure that out, beat that, you know. I don't know, we'll see. But it might be worth, you know, sometimes it's just worth it to, you know, have my own, pay that extra money, have my own car and, you know, space, and where I could just, you know, just be alone and get from point A to point B comfortably. You gotta pay for comfort. I could have got a cheaper flight and did one stop, and I guess I'm kind of justifying myself. I got nonstop, $237. I probably could have got one for like $170 with like a layover in Detroit for an hour and a half or something like that. I'm gonna have been up all Funkteers ball, and I'll probably be up all night. You know, get to the airport, blah, 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 blah. So, you know how that's gonna go. We'll figure it out. And I land at 7. Say I get the car at 8. My flight is at 10:55. So I might be returning the car. I gotta return the car before the time that I pick it up. So if I land at 7, we might even get there early, and I go pick up the car, and I pick it up at 7 a.m., that means I gotta take it, technically supposed to take it back by 7 a.m., and my flight ain't until 10:55. See what I'm saying? So we gotta work all that out. I gotta figure all that out. I ain't paying for an extra day. You know. Same thing might happen Same thing might happen. No, it won't. When I get to, because I'm gonna rent a car in Cleveland, drop it off in Youngstown. And here come these people again. Here they come again. Now, I admit, there's been times when I've been walking, especially in the street, and I kind of snap at cars or whatever because they this or that, when actually I ain't supposed to be in the street. And I realize that. Oh, look like they look like they trying to get over. Let's see what we got. These old men, they think because they old. See, look how far over he is. That's the one that always be coming over. I'm gonna knock his ass off the bike one time. See, look at him. Now they're gonna ride three. They're gonna ride 3 in a row. That's why I don't speak to them. That's why I don't even make eye contact or speak to them. They need to figure that shit out. Because I'm in my lane this time. I'm in the walking lane. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to be a good guy. I'm looking forward. I'm being the right person. See, I ignored them. I ignored them. And like I said, because I like to walk over here. I like to walk facing the traffic. If I walk where I'm supposed to walk, you know, there's a chance somebody can come up behind me. And in that lane right next to the walking lane is the going in the direction I'm going, so things can come flying by me. And some people don't understand that you just can't be flying by people without them knowing. That's why we need a PSA to have people start using signaling. That's why when people ride by me and they signal, I tell them, thank you. On your left, on your right. I even Googled how many biking accidents have there been. I guess there ain't been a significant amount. I guess there ain't been a significant amount for it to jump out at anybody yet. So, but anyway, so I throw a bag of cameras and recording devices, cell phones, basically. You know, cell phones, with the right light in the right position, cell phones get the job done. And then, man, I ain't gonna say worst case, and then you can even actually do some post-production work to where you can actually put some effects on it, you know, give the film some depth and, you know, cinematic effects to give it a richer, better looking, you know, view, look. Because sometimes cell phones are just too literal. They're just so clean. It doesn't look like real life. Sometimes they're just so sharp that it doesn't look like, you know, real life. And the resolution is high enough, you're shooting in full HD or even ultra HD. Hell, I think you can even shoot in 4K if you got enough memory. Just like the dude told me, the digital camera, like years ago, the digital cameras got better technology. It's the lenses. That's why you see all these big giant cameras and they have the, you know, the box. It's the lenses on them that make the big difference. It's the lenses that, you know, not just the technology inside the digital cameras is better than some of the older cameras, but the lenses on them older cameras just changed the game. Physical lenses, you know, the optical zoom and all that. But yeah, so I got a bunch of cell phones and GoPros, and I'm gonna take my Mevos and all clamps. Just gonna throw a bunch of stuff in a bag and then work it out when I get there. Get off work at 6, get to the Mint, 6:30, 6:40, whatever. The show doesn't start till 7:45 or something like that. Something like that. That don't sound right. That 7:45 don't sound right. No, maybe doors open at 7:45, show at 8:45. You know, get in there, do this, do that, and get some of them damn wings and them fries, baby. Them wings and them fries. Woo! Hopefully have everything set up to record and we'll go from there. People need to clean up behind their dogs. Some of them dogs is big. They be leaving a big pile of mess. That's just nasty. I don't understand how people can do that. I really don't. Sometimes I see people, they just throw stuff out of their car, or they just throw stuff on the ground. I just can't do that. Like my Black and Mild wrappers, I just can't throw, even like, and the top part is like real small. I even like crumble that up and put it in my pocket. Every now and then I'll throw some stuff out. Every now and then I'll throw some stuff on the ground. Because I don't feel like dealing with it. Every now and then. But it's small stuff. I never throw a bag. Because remember back in the day, we used to go to McDonald's and just throw our shit out to my mother and father, everybody. It was just common, you know, just to throw stuff on the street, just to throw it out the car. When you're sitting there, I can see my mother and father just kind of grabbing our bags and throw them out the door on the ground. Until we saw that Indian crying, or should I say Native American. Until we saw that Native American crying because we destroying his land. That hit me. That commercial hit me. That one did, I have to say. That one hit me. So, dude, they got a sign. Look at them. They got like a real professional sign. That takes it to another level. Selling tacos on the street. They be selling tacos, I guess because of COVID. They allow people just to set up and sell shit right there on the street. I'll be like worried about the sanitary part about it, you know? Like Charlie said, you know, where they get the hot water from? To keep things clean, sterile or whatever. But, so we're gonna do this tonight. And then tomorrow night we got Julio. Wasn't too long ago I told Mr. Fisher, I said, been a long time since I heard who in the fuck are you? He was like, yeah, we're gonna do that September 12th on his birthday. So, and 2 nights in a row, after working and after flying from New York, I don't know. I'll be working from home Friday. So I would get dressed and go. He gonna have some bangers in the place. That's for sure. He gonna have some bangers in the place. So I kinda wanna get there. See how I go down, that's for sure. Yeah, I had to stop and get my Black and Mild. Oh my God, that means I'm gonna have to splice this. I'm gonna have to splice this and then upload it. That means I may not be able to post it. Well, I guess it don't matter, do it? I guess it kind of does and it kind of don't. Because I didn't finish it up. Or maybe I'll just upload the one I did before. So I probably ain't gonna say too much on this one. In fact, I ain't gonna say too much on this one. It's, I don't know. I'm getting behind. I ain't saying nothing on this one. So I just upload the other one without the outro. Can I do that? Can I upload it without the outro? That's the question. Anyhow, we set. Got my Black and Milds. Looking forward to them wings and fries tonight. See the LA Maggots, Slapback, and Official Biz. That's a solid lineup. That's a very solid. Official Biz and Slapback. Oh my God. I mean, those are quote unquote real bands. LA Maggots, maybe my favorite. And you know, the one I choose, the brand who I'll wear, I'll go in there wearing LA Maggot shirts. I mean, they're definitely much more near and dear to my heart because of the music they played and the players. But gotta call it as it is. Slapback, professional, polished. Official Biz was pretty good. Professional, polish, good stage presence, the whole thing. You can see they rehearsed and all that stuff, so you know how that goes. You can see they actually rehearsed. Not that the LA Maggots don't, but P-Funk in general, P-Funk, the whole idea of P-Funk is kind of, whatever happens, happens, but I think even at the highest levels of P-Funk, and attention to detail could be waning, if I could put it that way. It's not about that. It's about the vibe and the music and the energy and that. So it's not so much about choreography and perfection. Like I said, you go to some of these shows, you're gonna see the exact same thing every night. And what I like to remember is Janet Jackson crying, same spot of her show, every show. I think I seen her twice, and she cried at the same spot each time. Anyway, I'm swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk, and for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this, or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all, a theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery.